And what we have done, as you can see, is glued new vintage yellow pine, southern yellow pine, on top of the original. We got down to, we figured about 3 inches in most cases. We got down and then we chiseled and belt sanded so there was a pretty smooth joint, and then using the West System epoxy glued these together. We will then put, as the Atlantic Shoreline did out here, put bolts, because they did the same job, but they didn't use any kind of glue. And we have replaced, there were several others that were like that, but we figured we're going to get back to a more solid base than it was there before. When this vehicle was first built, we're pretty sure that there were just bolts and washers dropping down to hold the bolster underneath. However, as the bolster is pulled by the motors and wheels, it tended to rock back and forth, go one way, and then it would go the other way, and the moisture coming down from on top tended to deteriorate the sills here, and so you can see these 4 of them in the middle totally replaced on the top. This one has been replaced with a routed out piece in the center. What Atlantic Shoreline did, or the York Utilities, we don't know exactly when it was done, they put those plates, which you can see with the bolts sticking out of them, and then the bolts went down through the sills and down through the bolster, giving you metal to metal, which was more solid. But we still think we're going to have to do some filling of the sills down below. We were considering whether we should or should not put those plates on because they weren't original, but on the other hand, I have a feeling they were on the car for a long part, and we're going to the 1935 to 40 period, which is far enough into the life of the car, so they must have done something like that at that point. The piece on the side, this side, was just set on top, and they used 1/4 inch steel here, and I'm debating whether to do something as solid as that or just get by with the 1/4 inch. I don't know. Some of these things you think about for a while, and finally comes a time and you just do it, depending either on what you have or what you have engineered to think is best. One thing I think you should show is the grain of the wood, and so that you get that the good picture of the end grain. These are called tenons, and there's a sill which goes across the end. It's basically about 8 inches high and 8 inches thick, and it's tenoned in. This gives you a good solid basis here. Now, having said that, this end had disintegrated, the sill had rotted away, as had some of the tenons. Fortunately, there were some left, and we will be able to replace the cut mortises in the sill and then glue it on here.